Hi everyone, I'm from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you for joining me. Firstly, let me ask you to please hold all questions till the end of the presentation, as I've made allowances for time. My name is Laura Lewis. I am autistic and I have a 17-year-old autistic son. When my son was 14, he started to look for an after-school job. In Australia, the unemployment rate and the underemployment rate for disabled people is incredibly high, and I believe even higher for autistic people. As his mum, I knew my son landing a part-time job while still in school was imperative. So I watched my son apply for so many jobs and yet never even securing a job interview. He disclosed his autism on his resume. He was capable and motivated. Would he need a job? Would he need a little bit more support initially? Perhaps. But the point is, employers make unfair and false assumptions about our disabled youth. It's been proven disabled people have a great work ethic and actually take less sick days than their non-disabled colleagues. So we decided, as doors were being slammed shut in our son's face, we would instead metaphorically build a door for him. I will talk a little bit about his job, the important lessons we learned, but more importantly, how his business model can easily be replicated across many different low-cost startup micro businesses. So with a budget of $20, I helped my autistic 15-year-old start a bin cleaning business. When I say bin, for those not in Australia, that means trash or garbage can. We bought heavy-duty gloves, concentrated disinfectant, and a scrubbing brush. That purchase was late December 2017. Clay cleaned 4 neighbours' bins on the 1st of January 2018. This was offered to them as a neighbourly Christmas gift. We then used this as a training opportunity. Clay found he could manage the sensory challenges like smell, and after one training session was proficient. We decided to start advertising on Facebook. We set up a page for him and then just shared amongst our Facebook connections. At this stage, Clay's goal was to leave school in 2 years' time with some experience and work references on his resume. As I mentioned earlier, we knew Clay stood a better chance of gaining post-school employment if he secured some form of employment while in school. We thought a few friends and family members would hire him intermittently and then be his references post-graduation. Well, let me tell you, his business became so much more. At this point, I want to point out some other types of service-style businesses you, your teen, or young adult could start, also with very little capital. Car washing, domestic and retail window cleaning, lawn mowing, dog walking, pet sitting, babysitting, gardening, to name a few. These type of services are required by people in any area. Busy people outsource these roles with a sense of relief. They are quick jobs, high turnover, require little training, and importantly, are low cost to your client. Even more importantly, they require very little capital to start. Setting up a Facebook page is essential. I encourage you to look at the content on my son's Facebook page, Clay Needs No Molding. The content is a mix of business and personal stories. The most popular posts that have the largest reach are about Clay's personal life. There are many benefits of having a Facebook business page. I also encourage you to have an Instagram business page, and as your business grows, develop a website. The reason being, you will never own your Facebook or Instagram pages. But if you have a website with the opportunity to gather a database of customer email addresses, then you'll always be able to reach your customers, should anything go pear-shaped on social media. And believe me, it has for some businesses. At this stage, as you are in startup, I would also encourage you to consider another couple of very important apps. A consistent problem we had with Clay's business was turning up to a customer's house and finding nobody home. I kept thinking about the reminder texts I received from my hairdresser and went searching. I thought, wouldn't it be great to get an app that allows us to do several things all in one app? So I was looking for an app that could be a database for our customers' details and appointments. It could keep track of financial information, which will be a requirement for wherever you live for taxation purposes, and have the ability to confirm appointments. So we did end up purchasing an app called My Chair, which is an app for hairdressers, but we just modified it for Clay's business. It was affordable and met all the criteria. It backs up weekly, and make sure you do this. We lost all the data recently on Clay's app, and the developers were able to help us restore everything from our most current backup, which was a great sense of relief. Why does a micro business suit students, youth, adult with barriers? I know with the business we run with my son Clay, I initially was working alongside of him. I cleaned bins and handled all the bookings, all the customer communications and face-to-face contact. Slowly and gradually, as Clay became more adept, I stepped away from the cleaning duties while still handling all the other components of his business. Being a high school student and his own boss, Clay could determine his working hours. As he earned more money, his business became more professional. He introduced EFTPOS banking, which allowed his customers to pay with their debit or credit card, which has been a great convenience for them. This was a very important addition to his business and was another step up as presenting himself as a professional and legitimate business. Clay also reinvested money into his business to ensure it was adhered to the local law. In Australia, you must have an ABN number for tax purposes. He registered his name as a sole trader and invested in public liability insurance. This insurance protected his customers should Clay damage their property during the course of operating on their residence. For EFTPOS processing, we use the app Square, but believe there may be several options out there you can choose. In Australia, you can obtain an ABN number for free, and this is a taxation requirement. It also means Clay can offer tax invoices to other businesses, which expands his clientele base. He is registered as a sole trader and obtain insurance because, again, in Australia, that is a legal requirement. Running your own business means you can slowly and steadily grow your business and decide when you work to suit your circumstances. It is very important that you do reinvest a certain amount of money back into your business to develop the legitimacy of your business in keeping with your country's laws. We use Clay's Facebook page for advocating also. Now, this is a joint decision between my son and I. We advocate about neurodiversity and inclusion. This is always done in kindness and usually sharing elements of Clay's life with his permission that have improved or been enriched from having his own business. We like to remind employers that disabled people have great skills and attributes that are largely overlooked. This is something we choose to do. Should you do that too? I would say only if it is important to you. Your Facebook page might just be to advertise your business, and that is great. Remember though, your followers want to see regular content. If you work at a local business cleaning their windows, then take a photo and post about it while tagging this other business in your post. This creates engagement. It shows you are being supported by local businesses. If you employ a local person, then shout out about it. Shout loud. Communities love local. They love people who shop local, who employ local, and who work local. We regularly post about supporting local businesses. Social media, while fantastic, means everyone only remembers you while you are posting, and you need to continuously remind them that you are local. You can see here Clay is shaking hands with our governor. Clay received an award from him 3 years ago, and we share these significant moments. It wasn't related to his business, but it is necessary for content and showing your followers a bit about yourself. Okay, let's talk about advertising. Do not pay for boosts on Facebook. If you listen carefully, and this is really important, we have never paid for advertising on Facebook. I personally have been a Facebook user for over 10 years myself. During that time, I've become a member of many local community groups and mum groups. These groups usually have a regular advertising day. I read the rules for each group and then, using my phone calendar, set up recurring appointments for each group to remind me when to advertise. It's important you understand the advertising rules for each group. Do not break the rules, as you don't want to be kicked out. Do we play on the autism word? Maybe a little. Do we remind them Clay is still in school? We do. But they are true, they are factual, and I believe it is helpful. So let's talk about reach. You can see on this slide, which is a post about Clay's price increase, which I put up before the end of the financial year in June. This post received an outstanding reach. That's actually now, I checked it this morning, it's over I think 7,000 or 8,000 reach, which is more than he has following him. So always look at your statistics with your posts. Post at different times and different days, and check your statistics and see which receives the most reach. I always heart, so you know if you like or heart a post. Heart is recognised as better engagement by Facebook. So I always heart anything I post on Clay's Facebook page, and I automatically share it to my personal timeline. The more engagement your post receives, the more reach it will receive. So if you can get your friends to heart and engage with your post, that is awesome. So Facebook, never ever ask people to like or share your posts. Facebook has algorithms that can recognize that, and they will suppress those posts. So because Facebook does not like you asking for engagement. So offline, or on your personal timeline, ask your friends to heart your business page, to comment, to share your posts and engage on your Facebook page. Also, when you receive comments on your Facebook page and your posts, always reply to them, as this does help with reach. And it also shows Facebook that you are invested and engaging with your customers. Another great way to grow your followers is to look at every like, heart on each post. Quite often you will notice that this person may not follow your page because they've seen it on another friend's share perhaps. So always send them an invite to follow your page. Clay has received some amazing opportunities. If you are interested in creating opportunities for yourself, it is achievable. Due to the advocating I do, I am part of some conversations online that end up in me sharing details about Clay's business. Clay is starting to do some presentations and is hoping to continue to do more and perhaps speak in schools in the future. So join business groups, ask questions. If you follow pages that are relevant, change it from your personal profile to your Facebook page. Comment and like as much as you can. Talk about yourself. Ask your customers for reviews and share the great reviews. I've even created fun little clips using iMovie for Clay's social media. Start a podcast. You don't have to talk about your business. Talk about your passion. Whooshka, that's spelled WHOOSHKAA, is a free podcast hosting site that we use. Make sure you also request to appear on iTunes and Spotify. If you post on Instagram, use hashtags. Do some research on hashtags. They are very important as people follow hashtags. When you have a Facebook page, you can also schedule posts. And this is great for people who are time poor. Just set aside an hour a week to set up daily posts. Always remembering, though, to reply to those comments as they come in. As you engage with your followers, you create more reach. A great way to grow your business is to enter any relevant awards. This creates media attention and more followers who are potential clients. It might feel uncomfortable for you, and nobody is very good about singing their own praises. But if you are running a business, and particularly if this involves overcoming barriers, you should be proud and you should tell the world. There are public relations firms out there who specialise in this field. In Australia, Publicity Genie is the best. We have received support from them in the past when Clay's international media coverage was very intense. I would like to again talk about the benefits of running your own micro business. You have an income. It gives you purpose. You create employment for yourself and potentially other people. If you find you are knocking back work, then you need to ask yourself, is it time to hire an employee? Local businesses support your local community, and that is something highly important to most people. Also, you will find your self-confidence will soar. This was not something we were expecting when helping our son set up his own business, but it would have to be the very best benefit of them all. You also choose your hours, choose your days. Make sure you have an auto reply set up on Messenger for your Facebook page, giving your potential customers an idea of how soon you reply to messages. If you have been looking for work for a long time, you will be feeling like you have nothing to offer. This is not true. If you are disabled or have some kind of barrier, it is very hard to sell yourself during the recruitment process. The only thing a job interview does is prove you're good or bad at job interviews. So stop this. With a little bit of brainstorming and a small amount of capital, you can start a micro business anywhere. Anywhere. Suburbia, regional or rural areas. There is always a niche market you can create with a bit of imagination. Let's think about rural. Small towns, usually farming. What could your target market be? What about cleaning shop windows or offering labouring jobs on farms? It really only has to be something you're prepared to do and that your area needs. Never say never. That is the most important thing to remember. If you are struggling to come up with an idea, ask for help. A parent, a teacher, a friend, just ask someone. I have set up a group on Facebook and I will share the link if anyone wants it. And this group supports each other through the startup process from concept to creation to continuation. Now, since I prepared these slides, my son's business now has over 180 clients. Always make sure you ask your clients for reviews online and share those reviews. Be proud of your accomplishments. This is not something that happens overnight, and it certainly requires dedication, discipline, and determination. You must be consistent, and when you say you will do something, you must do it. Another tip I would like to share is always, always, always over-impress your clients. Find little ways with little touches that go over and beyond their expectations. For Clay's business, for example, we always neatly wind their hose up, even if it wasn't that way when we arrived. If there is any rubbish in the bin or garbage can, however you call it, we always take it away with us. And we ensure that the bins are sparkling clean with no rubbish lying around on the ground. These little things are important and they are noticed. They take no more time but they leave lasting impressions. Finally, believe in yourself. This is a viable model. You can do this. You can take this knowledge and turn it into a living for yourself or your teenager, young adult. We were advised to franchise our son's business. We declined. We want everyone to have this opportunity. If we franchise his business, it would price out most people, and that is not something we are interested in. Thank you so much for listening, and please contact me anytime.